Hello, everybody. Welcome to what do I call this? Reston's Lost Trails. Here we are. This is the beginning of the Twin Branches Nature Trail. If you look down the road there, there's intersection of Glade Drive and Twin Branches Road. We're not far from Lake Audubon, which you can see through the woods back there. Maybe I don't know. And there's Twin Branches Road. We're just about a quarter of a mile, half a mile from my condo. And I just wanted to make a few of these videos, or at least this video, just to test it out and see how things are. I wanted to take a little trip down some of Reston's less traveled byways, mainly some gravel and dirt trails. Now, if you live in Reston like I have, I do, and I've lived here for over 40 years. I moved here back in 1972. I've been all over this little planned community. It's really nice. There's trails all over the place. You can, paved asphalt trails all over the place, hundreds of miles of them. You can walk all over the town, and I've explored a lot of them, most of them, in fact. And I haven't done a lot of the dirt trails. I just haven't, because there are so many cool paved trails. I haven't found the need to go back and do some of the dirt trails or some of the more interesting off-the-way trails. And so I decided to, just take a little walk. This is that Twin Branches Nature Trail. And if you can see behind me there, what it is, it's actually asphalt here. They paved this part. A couple years ago, they we'll see it when we get down here. There's an earthen dam down in here, and the county or somebody was the Reston Association or somebody was down here upgrading it, and they must have brought gazillion dump trucks of stones and stuff down here, so they needed a wide enough trail to get down here. So this is what has become of the Twin Branches Nature Trail, which looks like a regular Reston pathway. But anyhow, there's the dam for Lake Audubon and the spillway there. Very impressive. It'd be a good place to do some sledding in the winter, but I don't know if you're going to end up right in the creek there. It's not so hot, is it? So anyhow, now we get turn into gravel here on the nature trail. So we get back in the woods, and this is what is called the Twin Branches Nature Trail, and it runs for a mile or two or three. I don't know exactly. It connects Twin Branches Road there in Reston with the Washington Old Dominion Trail. It's a nice, leisurely, probably a half-hour-ish walk. It starts out as the asphalt goes into gravel, and then eventually just turns into dirt, and heads around over to the WO&D. Kind of there between, what is the segment in between Sunrise Valley and Hunter Mill Road. And there's a nice little sign there. This is also, by the way, what they call the Cross County Trail, which has been named after our current Congressman, Jerry Connolly, who used to be the chairman of the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors. So, he gets the trail named after him. I don't think has he ever walked on it? I don't know. He doesn't look like a hiker, by the way. He's kind of a husky guy. Maybe he does like to hike. But to get a trail named after him, I don't know. How am I doing? How's the beard look? Kind of crazy. What am I wearing today? Everybody always wants to know that. The camo shorts. Take a look. The boots. Camo cutoffs. Boots size 28. Shorts, by the way. So we're down here. We've just gone down quite a bit, and we're kind of in the great woods of Northern Virginia here, as you can see. And I'll just keep this going as long as I can. I wasn't sure whether I was going to do the video today because it isn't a real sunny day. It started out kind of a misty day, and I didn't want and I don't have a camera. This is on my little notebook computer. I want to get a camera, which would be a lot more convenient, to walk through the woods with a little camera than hiking through the woods with a notebook. But it's light and it's a short walk. I'm not going for 3 hours. It's probably more like 15-20 minutes. So we'll just see how this goes. I just want to do this as an experiment and just see how this works. Anyhow, here we are at a stream crossing, and as you can see, you can ford the stream over there. And then there's a little rickety bridge here. So we're taking the little rickety bridge over across. You know, the one thing I like about Reston, and it's, you know, Robert E. Simon, who's the founder and all that. The one thing I like about Reston is how quickly you can get out into what seems like a wilderness. You know, here I am. I've just been walking for a couple of minutes, and I go from this urban jungle of Reston into like a big nowhere. You know, feel like we're out in the middle of the woods here. You know, it's dirt trails, it's gravel, it's nature. There's some mushrooms. My friend Mark would probably like them. Hey, Mark, what do you think? I'll eat a few and then see if I live. But the one thing you see, if you notice here, you look like you're out in the middle of nowhere. There's just trees, but you know, over that hill there, there's houses. In fact, we get fairly close to some people's homes right up here. So, you know, I guess that's the nice thing about Reston is, you know, it's rather high density area. A lot of people live here, and there's a lot of the modern urban conveniences of living in an urban area. You know, we've got Metro now. Maybe someday I'll take a walk over to Metro on one of these little trippy things. It's a 20-minute walk from my front door to the Metro station there at Wheelie Avenue. And at the same time, with just a couple minutes, you can get out into a really, what seems like, deserted area. You know, I mean, I'm going to shut up now because somebody's coming, a runner, and I don't want to look like an idiot, so I'll just be quiet. Hey. There he goes. Someone's going to say, what's that jerk doing walking down the trail talking into a computer? I've done this trail a number of times. Sometimes I come down here and dogs attack me. I'll hope that doesn't happen today. Here we go. There's a nice stream going through, meandering. I did a thing with a Reston Association tour guide back in the spring, and he said there were copperheads back in here, but I have never seen any. So anyhow, we'll see. There it is, the Cross County Trail logo. As you can see, that shows us that we're on the trail. We're not going to stumble into anyone's backyard and get shot with a bow and arrow if they think we're a deer. So we're still on gravel here. You know, as we're down the hill here from Twin Branches Road, which is named for twin branches. There are two branches of a stream. I think that's called Difficult Run, Snake Den Branch. I forget what they call this. But there's two branches that run parallel to each other. One of them they actually formed Lake Audubon with. Dammed that branch up. But the two branches run straight through South Reston in an east-west. They flow to the east. Everything around this area drains to the east into this Difficult Run-ish kind of thing, and then it goes over and drains into the Potomac near Great Falls. Anyhow, that's where this trail goes. So we're back to a paved portion of the Twin Branches Trail here, and here's the earthen dam. So I'll let you take a gander at that for a few minutes here, hoping not to drop the computer. And here's the earthen dam. We're going to walk right up on top of it here. Do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. And we're still recording at the 8-minute mark, so we're doing good. There's, I guess, for storm abatement. They built this gizmo down there to drain the water. And then you got the dam here. And then that's the other side of the dam. So, you know, we look like we're in the middle of nowhere here. And perhaps we are. I don't know, I was talking to one of my friends today, and I was saying, you know, I just like getting back into the woods. It's such a refreshing thing. Okay, here we got the crossroads. And one of these days I'll do the complete nature trail. But anyhow, if you make a right here, head off that way, you will continue on the Cross County Trail down to the WO&D. That is the continuation of the nature trail straight ahead, but that also merges into the Cross County Trail further down. It's a higher trail, and this lower trail, they say, gets flooded out if there's heavy rain, so you can do that. Anyhow, we're taking the left turn here, which continues down into the Reston area. And I'm noticing here some people coming, so I'm going to shut up and just walk for a few minutes. So stay tuned. Dum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. and a dog, and it's probably going to bark. Oh yeah, it's going to charging us. Hello dog, how are you? It's a friendly dog. Oh, it doesn't have poison ivy on it. Yes, doing a little walk and talk here today.
Walk and talk?
Yes. You'll see this on YouTube in a little while.
All right. How will I find it?
Go to, just search for DCRTV. That's my webpage.
DCRTV?
Yes.
Cool. I work at Micro Center.
Oh, okay. I get over there all the time.
I'm in the Apple department.
Oh, well, forget that then. I'm Windows 10 for me. That was nice. We ran into some folks there, a guy who works at... Maybe! Well, that was interesting. We ran into a guy who works at Micro Center in Fairfax, where I do some of my computer shopping. So that was very nice. So I told him that he could probably find this video, if it ever gets made, up on DCR section of YouTube, where I do all my Dave TV and my cord cutter videos. So we shall see. Anyhow, we're on this path now. We're heading kind of in a northerly direction. This is in Reston. We're on a Reston Association trail here. As you can see, it's just dirt, but it's very pretty back in here. And again, you would think you're way out in the middle of nowhere here, but there's houses, you know, any of these hills you go over and there's people's houses and stuff, so it's very nice. Okay, this is a little trail that cuts up to Midsummer Nights Road or something like that. It's one of the Reston residential areas, and it starts out really nice, but then as you get up closer to the road, it becomes very encroached. And by that I mean the video, this growth around you gets really tight up to you and rubs against you, and there's a lot of poison ivy in it, so you got to watch out for that. Anywho, you know, I did that trail a couple days ago and came home and took a nice long shower afterward and felt better, and did notice a few little itchy blotches coming up on my legs the next day, but I think that was more of a bug bite than anything else, because it's kind of round and it's still there, probably deeply infected. I'm going to have to go to the hospital and get my leg amputated, but not until I finish this walk. So we're continuing down the trail, and it's starting to rain more heavily. Uh-oh. Okay, got a couple drops of water. If we start having rain, I'm going to have to shut her down, because I don't want to get the computer wet. You know what I'm saying, Jelly Bean. Okay, so we're good. We're good to go. That was maybe just a few water drops blowing out of the trees. But if it does start to rain, we will shut her down pretty quick, because I'm not getting the $285 notebook computer busted. Okay, so we're taking a little diversion here over to the trail, as you can see there. I mean, the stream, excuse me, I'm getting my dyslexia. There's the stream, the little the creek that flows over by the trail here, so we're doing good. Let's see, let's try this. Ooh, see, there you go. Give you a different view there of where we're going. Oh, and that's what she looks like going forward. The wind blew for a second there, and I think it just blew some water out of the trees, and I got a couple of drops on the computer, but I think we're okay now. As we're continuing to head through the Northern Virginia woods, I can hear sounds like a chainsaw or some sort of device off in the distance. Somebody obviously remodeling their mini mansion. But as I say, you know, you just do this walk and you really feel like you're out in the middle of nowhere here. So again, we started out at Twin Branches Drive, right at the Lake Audubon Dam. And you see a sign there. It says Twin Branches Nature Trail. And it's very well marked, and you know, it almost looks like a little road. And you go up the hill there and then down a steep incline, and then you hit the gravel area. We crossed over the little earthen dam, and then you have the three-way intersection. You can go to the right and continue on the cross-county trail over to the WOND, which is a nice walk. And if this is successful and gets 1 million views on YouTube, maybe I'll do that. And otherwise, you go straight, and you can continue on the Twin Branches Nature Trail, which goes up a little bit, and then connects with the cross-county trail a little further down. Or you can make a left there, as we did, and it takes you on this little unnamed trail that just kind of continues, meanders through the woods. This is the way Northern Virginia looked back in the Civil War. You can see the soldiers prancing, right, they pranced, heading through the woods with their muskets or whatever they had back then. I don't know. I don't know war stuff. I'm sure they had rifles and stuff. That's another war. What the heck? One of the inspirations I have for doing this, by the way, one of the other websites I do is called Cord Cutter. I'm the cord cutter. I cut my cable TV off. Why? Because Comcast was going to raise my rate by $100, and I hadn't watched television in like 3 or 4 months. Because why? Because I'm on YouTube almost all the time, and I've been watching a lot of cool videos. There's a guy by the name of Syntax 77, Syntax 77. Just search for him on YouTube and subscribe to his page. He's magnificent. He does these hikes all over the Northeast. He's done some in the Shenandoah. He goes up to the White Mountains in Vermont and New Hampshire. He was in the Adirondacks. Goes through Pennsylvania. He lives in Wilmington, or near Wilmington, Delaware, near Philadelphia area. And I know his name is Sean because his friend Mike sometimes calls him that. But that's all we know about this mysterious dude. But he has these most wonderful videos where he'll just go off by himself sometimes and go hiking. So here we are. Trail closed here because of some high water that washed out the stream there or whatever, the bank. So they're diverting us up the hill here. So that's where we go. Up the hill backwards, according to David Bowie. And guess what? We come upon, bum, 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 another trail, a paved trail. Another one of the Reston Association's well-maintained trails. This one, which I take a lot, it cuts over by, there's Sunrise Valley Elementary School over the hill there. And then this cuts through to a street called Barton Hill, which I always call Barton Fink, because I'm a big Coen Brothers fan. I always call it Barton Fink Drive, but it's called Barton Hill, which connects with Sunrise Valley Drive, near me, not far. So, in fact, if I just took this trail straight, it would go right back to where I live at Villa Ridge, which is, only about a 10-minute walk from here. But anyhow, here's a brand new bridge that was just built. So the Reston Association using up our hard-earned, what do they call it? It's not a tax, it's a donation. It's not a donation, it's a whatever they call that fee. I don't know. Okay, we're at the 18-minute mark. So, so far it's been 18 minutes since we started our little trek here through the Northern Virginia woods. And we're going to continue a little further. The trail is dirt, as we're back on dirt again. And we go through a very nice area. It's a very pleasant walk back in here. Again, houses on either side of us, some townhouses on the left and regular houses on the right, but you can't see them. They're hard to see. We're kind of out in the middle of nowhere, which is why I like Reston. You don't even have to get in your car and drive anywhere to enjoy this, And granted, it's not like going down the Appalachian Trail. I realize that, it's not the full experience, but it's still very nice. And, you can be in your office 1 minute and be out in the middle of nowhere the next. So that's what we're doing here. As we're trying to avoid the poison ivy. The time of the year, it's early October. Nice day today. Nats are playing their first National League playoff game at 3 o'clock. The Orioles won yesterday. So they're playing their game right now as we speak. And, we'll see. I don't know. You'll know when you watch this whether we had a Battle of the Beltways World Series. I don't know because it's only October the 3rd, 2014. So anyhow, we're again walking up against the lake here. Do. As you can see. As I said, I'm just shooting this with a little notebook computer, laptop, whatever you call it, a little laptop. Which is what I do a lot of my Dave TVs on. And So far the rain has held off. It's a cloudy, kind of a misty-ish day. Kind of a mist out there, but now that we're under the tree canopy, not too bad. Not too bad at all. And, you know, as we're hitting the 20-minute mark, I see signs of civilization ahead. Wow. So, our walk is soon coming to an end. But, you know, for a little 20-minute, 22-minute walk, just to get out in the middle of nowhere, this is pretty cool. Now, this length of this whole thing we're doing is probably about the same length as the Twin Branches Nature Trail. And if we continued on that Twin Branches Nature Trail, which is the cross-county trail, we probably would be closing in on the Washington and Old Dominion trail, which goes, you know, of course, goes all the way from western Loudon all the way into Alexandria. You connect and do all these trails. But, you know, I like walking on the WO&D, don't get me wrong, but it's like being on a highway. There's so many bicyclists, you know, and it's kind of like walking on a highway. And I kind of like to get out and get a little bit of isolation when I do my walks, you know. And so I try to avoid the WO&D, and plus people are whizzing by you going 30, 40 miles an hour. And it's an okay walk. And you've got the power lines buzzing on top of you with all this electromagnetic radiation. So it's not my favorite place. You know, it's a good trail if you want to get somewhere fast. And one day we'll do that too. The other thing, with the metro station being 20 minutes away from me, I can then hop across, and I do hop, by the way, hop across Sunset Hills Road, and then we can get on the WO&D there, right near Isaac Newton Square, where the old Reston Ebola building used to be. Speaking of Ebola, it's in the news a lot today, if you haven't heard. And then we can just hot-foot it down to Reston Town Center, where there's tons and tons of entertainment, movies, Broadway shows, stripper parlors, and everything else. So, anyhow, we're pretty much ending our walk as we approach Sunrise Valley Drive. And I don't know what the name of the street is. Cross School, I think it is. There's Sunrise Valley Elementary right here. So it's right here. You get off the Dulles Toll Road, on Hunter Mill Road, make a right on Sunrise Valley. It's right here. So we're close to that. We're close to the WO&D. Just a short hop and a jump across the street here. And that's it. So we see a big electrical box up here as we're climbing up. And then, of course, there's an office building right over there. And that's where my financial advisor actually is, at Edward Jones. And I'm probably going to stop by there and say, get me out of the damn stock market. It's too volatile. But I don't know. It's been good the last couple months. It just keeps going up and up. And there we are, back out into reality. All right, folks. That's Sunrise Valley Drive. Looking to the east behind me. I'm heading west. And for this first infantile little hike here, I want to thank you. And we'll see how this goes. We're hitting the 23-minute mark, so hopefully they'll let me update that or upload that on YouTube for that length, but who knows? We'll see. All right, folks. Adios.